of North Carolina. The point guard is Jimmy Braddock, the 6'2 senior out of Chattanooga, Tennessee's Baylor Prep High School. The swing is Michael Jordan. He's a 6'6 sophomore from Wilmington, North Carolina. In the middle, Brad Doherty, 6'11, a freshman from Black Mountain, North Carolina. Up front, Sam Perkins at one forward, a 6'9 junior from Latham, New York. And the other forward, Matt Doherty, 6'8, a junior from East Meadow, New York. And there's your starting lineup for North Carolina. Now for the Terrapins of Maryland. Jeff Adkins at one guard, a 6'5 sophomore from Martinsville, Virginia. The other guard is Adrian Branch, a big one, a 6'8 sophomore from Largo, Maryland. On the post, Ben Coleman, a 6'9 junior from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And the forwards for the Terrapins, Mark Fothergill, a 6'9 junior out of Somerset, New York. And the other forward, Herman Veal, he is 6'6, a junior from Jackson, Michigan. And there are the starting lineups for tonight's game. We're set to play some basketball. There are the officials: Joe Forty, Richard Papero, and David Dodge. Maryland 14-6 on the year, 3-4 in the ACC. North Carolina 21-4, 8-0 in the ACC. Again, Cole Fieldhouse is sold out here tonight. There are no seats left after that 72-71 North Carolina win down in Chapel Hill. Maryland wanting to get that one back here tonight. The statistical comparison between the two ball clubs. Look at North Carolina, what they have done shooting percentage-wise and what they've held their opponents to. They have a big margin there. They, of course, and Maryland have both out-rebounded the opposition this year. North Carolina averaging 14 points a game more than the opposition. Maryland nearly 4 more, and we're set to play. Ben Coleman steps in against Sam Perkins. And Carolina's Michael Jordan comes up with a basketball. Matt Doherty on the baseline, blocked by Herman Veal.
Great play by Veal because he was so far out of position. Doherty hurt his back a little bit. It was such a tremendous block. And Veal's going to be on Doherty. Going to wipe up the floor a little bit over there, Fred.
Well, he was so far back, he looked like he was hanging back.
It shocked Doherty, and I know his back's sore right now. He's trying to get himself back together again.
Braddock inbounds to Brad Doherty. Sam Perkins.
Now, Atkins is the guy that's got the tough matchup with Jordan. Jordan, a much better leaper than Atkins.
Fothergill has Perkins.
Branch at 6'8", playing Braddock.
Who's only 6'2". There's Perkins, takes it over Fothergill, too strong. Brad Doherty's there. He's going to have to try it again. He's not going to come up with it. Herman Veal does for Maryland.
That's the power move inside that Dean Smith wants from Doherty.
Branch, Fothergill, try to get it down inside. It was deflected by Jordan, taken by Brad Doherty, and back comes Carolina.
How often you see Michael Jordan come from the weak side and slap the ball away?
Brad Doherty, Michael Jordan. Go again to Brad Doherty. This time the freshman gets it down, 2-0 North Carolina.
Fothergill got out of position on that one, and he was kind of surprised to find Doherty so wide open. Here's North Carolina in the zone.
Tar Heels leading 2-0 in the early going.
That's a 1-3-1 zone. Sam Perkins is running on the baseline.
Branch squares up. Adrian Branch has 2, and we are tied at 2.
What's amazing about that, that makes Branch 5 for 28 on the year. Less than 20% as a shooter from the three-point range.
Maryland, in fact, as a team has had Collins. They're shooting only 30% from three-point range, 49% overall.
A little different defense now by Maryland. They're not guarding Doherty.
There's Brad Doherty inside. Matt Doherty out on the wing.
Going to have to check out that defense that Maryland was playing as a jump ball situation. Going to be turning that arrow towards Maryland. But that was a very unique setup in defense. What Fothergill was playing down there is hard to understand.
You can see North Carolina's had great success down through the years against this club. 18-14 left in the first half.
North Carolina goes back to man-to-man.
Adkins, top of the circle. Running down the lane, threw up an off-balance shot that wouldn't fall for him. Jordan had the rebound. Adkins takes it away. Now it's battle for it, and he's too deep on the baseline and loose it.
Atkins got himself caught up in the air with no place to go. That was a very difficult shot. I think he had figured that somebody was going to come over and pick him up so he could have the play. Let's see if it's a little triangle. That's what they're playing. 2 men man-to-man, and 3 guys are playing a triangle zone. That's Fothergill, Coleman, and Veal are playing the triangle zone. Branch and Atkins are playing man-to-man.
Braddock open from the outside. outside, doesn't drop it. Oh, look at Michael Jordan, got it up soft. It wouldn't fall, and Ben Coleman clears the rebound for Maryland.
You said it right, Fred. That was so soft the way he put that up on the board.
Adrian Branch inside Coleman, wanting to move quickly. Jordan strips him.
Again from the weak side.
This is Braddock. He might have overdone it. He still has the ball.
Both teams are really picking pockets here tonight.
Perkins, Braddock, back to Perkins.
Another steal.
Jeff Atkins comes away. They're 2-on-1 against Braddock. Oh, nice move by Adrian Branch, and he got it.
That's a beautiful jump stop by Adrian.
4 points Branch. 5-2 Maryland.
Now here they are. The 3 men play in the zone. Perkins goes outside beyond it.
Apparently, Branch's first field goal was a 3-pointer because they've got 5 points on the board.
Yes, it was.
Okay. Jump shot, Braddock. That's 3 points. We're tied at 5.
Dean Smith really upset with Carolina. I say upset, and I put that mildly. Carolina's outside shooting against Villanova, and Maryland's going to make them shoot from the outside, prove they can make some early.
Atkins, Fothergill. Matt Doherty shuts him off. Branch, 3-point range, too strong, and Brad Doherty kicks the rebound up to Braddock. 3-on-2. Jordan. Nope. Look at Sam Perkins. Right back up.
One of the things, Fred, that players are not taking into consideration tonight, when you're going to shoot from outside, these are hard rims. That ball is bouncing out almost to the foul line distance on missed shot opportunities. So in the blockout situation, you don't have to be so concerned about having a man pinned down underneath.
Well, with the 3-point try, we've mentioned this before, you do get long rebounds. You'd think it would provide more fast breaks, but I guess maybe you're just not as organized when you're tricked by the rebound.
Well, the guards have to be very concerned to help out back in here instead of releasing early.
And Coleman, up he goes. Shot doesn't fall, but he's fouled by Sam Perkins. First foul on Perkins. First foul in the ballgame.
That was another case where the rebound bounded right over. Now watch this. The rebound's going to bound right over the normal position for Perkins, and it goes all the way back outside for Coleman, who has some nice moves inside.
Ben Coleman from Minneapolis, Minnesota, a transfer student from the University of Minnesota. There's Dean Smith looking on. His record against Lefty Driesell coach teams. Fothergill sits down for Maryland.
Dean's wearing one of those brown Adolph Rupp suits.
Len Bias in the ball game for the Terrapins as Coleman gets the free throw.
Here's an early substitution for North Carolina, but it's been one that's been typical of their ball club of late. Martin coming in for Doherty. Dean Smith goes, see how many minutes that he can get out of Martin here. He's been coming through for him very well.
They're both 6'11". Martin is sophomore.
Beal did a good job penetrating that time, almost got a good inside rebound.
Ball belongs to North Carolina.
And there was a kicking violation, so there's 25 seconds on the clock. It should be set back to 30.
And we have a timeout taken here at Coles Fieldhouse. In the early going, North Carolina Fieldhouse in College Park, Maryland. North Carolina up by 1 in the early going. Dean Smith, Lefty Driesell's down in the middle of his pack over there. Look at that. How many wins is that real quick? That's 949 wins between these two guys. Some records.
It really is tremendous. And Lefty, of course, coached at Davidson and came from high school to Davidson and put them on the map, led them to a top 10 type ball clubs. And Dean Smith has only been a head coach at one university, and that's the University of North Carolina.
You know, for years they had that rap about him not winning the national championship. I think the most amazing thing is he's been in there 7 times. That says a lot more about how good he's been than not having won it than about anything else.
I'd agree with that. Here we have another defensive change. This time we've got Coleman playing back inside, little zone action. The other fellow's playing man-to-man out front.
Atkins racing for the layup, and he gets Jeff Atkins gets 2.
Now, North Carolina has 5 offensive rebounds so far in this game, but Maryland has stolen the ball about 4 times. That one leading to the easy break.
Jimmy Braddock. 15 minutes, 8 seconds left in the first half. Michael Jordan.
Okay, we're back to the 3 men in the zone, 2 men man-to-man. It's Bias on Jordan, and Atkins is on Braddock. So Doherty's got wide-open shot.
Matt Doherty just passed one up. Perkins back to Matt Doherty. Michael Jordan takes it and gets it. That's 3.
Now, no excuse for that on Bias's part. He knows the other guys are playing zone, so he's got to stay right on Jordan and force him to drive.
10-8. North Carolina after Jordan hits the 3-pointer.
There's North Carolina in their 1-3-1 zone. Really changing defenses around.
A lot of coaching going on here. Len Bias, the freshman, not quite. And look at the hustle.
Beal just out-fought the North Carolina players for that ball.
Adkins. Bias. Branch steps to the top of the zone. Ryan hits it. Adrian Branch has 7.
That's Adrian's range right in there, and that's almost like a shot. There's another turnover. Yes, sir. Maryland just out-hustling North Carolina.
10-10 tie with 14:03 left in our first half. As you can see, the crowd here at Cole Fieldhouse enjoying the early action.
And I think as time moves on, Fred, if Maryland can continue to play this way, it's going to put a lot of pressure on North Carolina.
North Carolina's turned it over 5 times. Maryland 3. Boy, North Carolina already has 5 offensive rebounds in this game.
Right.
Branch for 3. Got it. Branch has 10 points, and it's 13-10 Maryland. Jordan Perkins jumps on the
nice
circle.
move.
Oh, pretty.
Even though the fellas are playing that little triangle zone down there, Fred, they still ought to be playing a little more solid defense than that. Adrian Branch was just waving at Sam Perkins that time.
Atkins. Steve Hale with him. Len Bias. Walk for the ball.
Credit Michael Jordan with that turnover defensively, because he came up from the weak side again, and Bias didn't anticipate he'd be there that quickly. We'll see it right here. And see, just as Jordan came in to fill that lane, Bias didn't anticipate that quickness and caused the turnover.
The Terps' 4th turnover. Here's Hale for North Carolina for 3. No. Tip try. Michael Jordan couldn't get it. It's out of bounds. Belongs to North Carolina.
Here's the case where North Carolina really misses Peterson, who will be out for the year with that knee injury, because against this type of defense, there are a lot of holes to shoot jumpers right from the top of the key.
Doug Peterson scored 9 against this team the last time they met.
Now Maryland goes straight man-to-man.
Doherty. Matt Doherty. Michael Jordan. It's going to be a blocking foul.
Yeah, lefty hot on that one.
Herman Field doesn't believe it. Neither does lefty.
But Michael Jordan goes up in the air so quickly that you've got to give him an opportunity, or you do any offensive player, an opportunity to come down. Now watch this. Some move by Michael Jordan. He goes in. Veal comes up underneath him. By the time that Michael Jordan left the ground, Veal was not in position.
Maryland played 7 minutes and 5 seconds without committing a foul. That's what they're shooting so far tonight. Warren Martin. Hale.
Backdoor.
Backdoor to Jordan.
Great job by Veal. You know, Veal doesn't get on the stats that much, but he does so many positive things, and he's just kidding Michael Jordan a little bit, said, I saw you coming from the weak side.
6 turnover charge to North Carolina.
That's an awful lot for their ball club.
Veal, top of the circle. He's going to put it up. And out.
Well, Lefty Driesell would rather him not take that shot.
Back comes Hale. Maryland leading by 1 with 12:30 left in the first half. Michael Jordan, jump shot, off the heel of the rim.
Notice again, that ball bounces out on these rims 12 to 15 feet. What a sloppy game we've got going.
They're going too fast. Atkins couldn't handle the ball, lost out of bounds.
That ball just got away from Jeff Atkins, and it seems like we're having a hard time having a shot taken.
Curtis Hunter's on the floor for North Carolina. He's been out with a stress fracture in the 5th metatarsal, the same injury as Derek Wittenberg. Well, Derek wasn't a stress fracture, but Curtis Hunter, 6'4" freshman from Durham, back in action here tonight. I think he's only practiced 2 days. Matt Doherty.
Nice fake.
Shot wouldn't fall. Brad Doherty.
That was Herman Veal again, coming from the weak side to help out Coleman, who had been faked out of position. We'll see it right here. Doherty's coming, and look at Veal come over from the weak side. Almost the same kind of play, and that's a tough one for officials. The guy goes up in the air on the drive, and the fella steps over from the weak side.
Brad Doherty called for the charge. We'd like to apologize. We're having some audio and video difficulties on the network. We're working to fix them and hope to have it corrected shortly. Meantime, just please bear with us and enjoy some basketball. Branch from the three-point range. That's good. He has 3 3-pointers in this game and 13 points already.
And Baxter in the ball game, we remember the last time that we saw him, how quick he was on the drive.
Jeff Baxter, the guard for Maryland. Matt Doherty slides the lob and does, and there's Brad Doherty inside. He has 4.
Look at Lefty. He is really hot. That defense, although it's designed to have a lot of strength inside that little triangle, Coleman kind of went to sleep. There's that quickness of Baxter.
Hill tries to shut him off. He kicks it to Coleman. 16-14, Maryland in front of North Carolina with 11:13 left in the first half. And look at Coleman down the lane. Oh, he almost had it down, but it wouldn't fall. Back comes North Carolina. Hale to Hunter.
3 freshmen in the game right now for North Carolina.
Matt Doherty, good. He has 2.
Which is a pretty young outfit. We've got a lot of freshmen playing in the ACC this year. The kids at Georgia Tech and at Duke. And here you have North Carolina, the leader, playing 3 freshmen in a key ball game.
Branch on the side of the lane, good.
Adrian, he can shoot it right in your face. He's about 6'8", and he has that ability to just go right up in the air and shoot it off.
He has hit 6 out of 7 shots in this game. Here he is, top of the circle, deals it to Baxter. Back to Coleman, works his way in and gets it. And Coleman has 3.
Maryland's taking it to him.
20-16 Maryland with 10-17 left in the first half.
And this only gets the fans just a little bit more riled up.
Crowd standing and roaring here, and calls a deflection. North Carolina still has it. They're trying to lob to Brad Doherty. He makes the catch. Gets it to Warren Martin.
Not a good play by Adrian Branch. With 3 officials, you're never going to get away with that push right under the basket. Now watch this. Here comes the lob. Excellent pass, Doherty to Martin. And watch Adrian. See the push? No way you'll ever get away with that. Here comes the lob again. It'll be the same this way, Fred. I think Martin will make the shot. Branch will push. No matter what angle you show, it's right there. And you can see Joe Forte. He didn't miss a thing.
So Warren Martin line. Billy, I don't remember seeing Brad Doherty and Warren Martin on the floor at the same time before this year.
I really haven't either. Maybe the latter part of the game, but I've never seen them this early in the game. Usually one or the other is in there with Sam Perkins.
Warren Martin's numbers has not been a good free throw shooter. In and out. And it's 2018 Maryland as the Terrapins bring it up with 9:53 left in the first half. He'll walk.
A lot of turnovers that are really not being caused that much by the defense. Just careless ball handling.
Unforced errors. We have the timeout here with 9 minutes and 49 seconds left in our first half. Maryland in front of North Carolina 2018. And we're here. You're looking into the Maryland huddle. Terrapins giving great effort early on. Billy, you mentioned it's been sloppy, but look at Adrian Branch. He is 6 for 8 from the floor. 3 of those buckets are from three-point range. He has 15 points already in this contest.
Well, you mentioned 3 from beyond the three-point range. And as I said to you, that coming into the ball game, he was only 4 for 27 from the three-point range.
Well, you mentioned the freshmen. Maryland has 5 freshmen on the squad. Carolina has 3. 7 sophomores for Dean Smith's club. 3 for Lefty. Juniors, 4 Carolina, 5 Maryland. Tar Heels have the only senior.
Well, when you look at the league, there are very few seniors in the ACC this year, and that has a lot to do, obviously, with the caliber, the strength of the league from top to bottom. Whenever you find a league that's senior-oriented, you find them to have a lot of real good ball clubs from top to bottom, as would be the case, let's say, with the Big East of the SEC this year.
Got a foul. Branch, I believe, got hit in the nose. He's called for the foul. It's his second personal foul. There's Jeff Adkins back on the floor. Branch is going to get a breather. So's Fothergill. Dan Coleman's back in the game, along with Adkins.
You know, looking at North Carolina, Fred, we remember the tremendous rush they had when they beat Syracuse, Rutgers, and that crowd right in through there, and when they played out in Hawaii. They have not really had their legs for the last couple of weeks. You know, we saw them against Georgia. If you saw them against Clemson, Wake Forest, and of course Villanova, I saw them Sunday, and they really haven't had that spark and quickness they had during that great stretch run they made.
Well, they kind of, Billy, to be honest, Matt Doherty getting the shot up. It's a little bit short, and the rebound taken by Bias. I really felt, looking at the Virginia game and looking at some of the tape again, that they were ready to be taken that night, and Virginia's getting good done.
And here they are back to man-to-man, an awful lot of walking around. Not a lot of crispness in their movement.
It's just going to have those peaks and valleys in the basketball.
That's right. So we have the clock down to 11 seconds. Maryland really has it spread out. Coleman on the lob.
Ben Coleman gets it up, and it's good. And Coleman has 5.
Nice job by Lefty Driesell to spread things out a little bit. Get that ball over the top of the defense to Coleman.
Billy, you mentioned the shot clock, the 30 seconds. I like where they've got it here at Maryland. They got it right above the backboard.
Yeah, it's really helpful for the players and the coaches.
Matt Doherty, no foul call. Matt Doherty gets 2 with an aggressive drive. He has 4 points, and it's 22-20 Terrapins.
That's a fine no call by the officials there, because all of a sudden you can see that everybody from the weak side is trying to draw those charges. And with a no call or so, you'll get guys to stop doing that in the ball game.
Matt Doherty has 4 points and 4 assists. We have 8 minutes left in our first half. Adkins, they'll try to get it to Bias. Matt Doherty, he collected a pass out of bounds, and he saved an easy 2 right there.
It really was an easy 2.
Dean Smith, his assistant coach, is looking on. We have timeout called here. We have 7:59 left in our first half. Maryland 22, North Carolina 20. And we'll
live and work. Bringing you ACC basketball is just one way we've been able to do this. Today, Jefferson Pilot is a $3 billion corporation in insurance, broadcasting, and publishing. And we're always looking for new ways to be involved in the region, whether it's financing a new business or televising basketball.
Billy, we mentioned it. Different arenas have the 30-second shot clock in different places. Here at Cole Fieldhouse, they have it right above the glass, and in my thinking, that's the best spot for it. They have some places they have it on the floor.
Well, it's very disconcerting for the players when it's down in the corners of the floor, and they have to look, particularly if you're driving away from the clock, and you don't realize how much time is there. But there's really no excuse for a player now in this particular gymnasium and not being able to know exactly what's left on that clock. And in this particular case, 13 seconds.
We have 7:59 left in our first half. Maryland 22, North Carolina 20. And back to action we go.
And here you have the out-of-bounds situation. North Carolina with Michael Jordan keeping an eye on that passer, because in the Villanova game, the passer was throwing the ball off the back of the defender.
And Coleman, he has 7. He looks willing to go to work inside.
Ben Coleman has proved in this league he can go inside on anybody.
Martin hemmed in on the baseline. Perkins it was hemmed in, and Perkins throws it away. Adrian Branch jumpers up.
That's his shot. Maryland just taking it to North Carolina right here.
17.
Tar Heels seem to be very confused on offense.
Branch has 17, and Maryland has opened up a 6-point lead over North Carolina.
That little triangle defense with 2 men playing man-to-man. The shot is going to be right at the top of the key, and it's for Matt Doherty. He's got to move to that position and take the jumper.
Brad Doherty hemmed in, gets it over to Perkins, and the shot's good. Sam Perkins has 6. 7:07 left in the first half. Baxter,
He can penetrate.
Good block. It's got it, but it's Baxter again. Nope, and here comes Matt Doherty with Braddock 2-on-2. Now Jordan fills the left lane. They get it back to him, and it's good.
How about that shot? Use the rim to be a ward off the defensive man's hand.
Doherty now with 5 assists in this first half. 26-24 Maryland.
Normally when you're having a ball game where you're a little sloppy offensively, the way to get it back is to play some tough man-to-man defense.
What a shot by Jeff Atkins, and he's fouled by Jordan. Jeff Atkins getting his 4th point, and I taking it over Jordan.
Atkins really showed us something there in the fact that he has that ability to go inside, but I never thought he could go up over the top of Michael Jordan to get off the shot. He surprised me on that one.
28-24, and Atkins on the free throw line. A 6'5 sophomore, 62% free thrower. Good. That makes it a 3-point play for Atkins, and now 29-24 Maryland. 6:29 left in the first half.
There's Atkins down there on Michael Jordan on the other end of the floor. Of course, he has that little triangle zone helping him out.
Matt Doherty. Jordan to Perkins. 12 seconds on the shot clock.
There's the shot, top of the key. He's got to start taking that shot.
Now he does take it from the corner, and it's a 3-pointer. 29-26 now. Matt Doherty has 7.
The real weakness in that particular defense is if they have 2 guys that are being guarded man-to-man go down around the baseline, it makes the wings wide open from 15 to 18 feet.
Fothergill, Atkins tries to get it down inside, picked up by Branch to Atkins in the circle. Martin intimidating, and Fothergill walked with the ball. Carolina defense forced a turnover that time.
A little bit too much penetration. No place to go. Here we see it right here. Atkins goes inside. Good job by Martin, and that is what more than anything messed up Fothergill, because he had to dump it on off and there was no place for Fothergill to go.
Len Bias over having a word with his coach, Lefty Driesell.
Well, this
in the game he comes, and out comes Baxter.
And the club that Lefty has out on the floor right now is a big team. When you talk about Coleman, Bias, and Branch playing a guard at 6'8" or 9. Tough to get shots over it.
Well, Atkins is 6'5", the smallest player out there.
There's that shot again. That shot is there all day long.
Sam Perkins can't drop it, but right there. Hunter now committed as Hunter had it back inside and is fouled.
Be anxious to see how Curtis Hunter comes back. He's been out of action for quite some time. He goes up, very good pump fake, misses one inside, kind of like Baxter's inside a minute or so ago. Had an easy one and just couldn't get it to go.
But Curtis Hunter will be on the free throw line, and he was 10 for 10. Is 10 for 10. Certainly was 10 for 10 before he's hurt. He still is, but apparently a good free throw.
Now, Curtis is an outstanding athlete, and only that injury slowed him down, or he'd be seeing an awful lot of playing time for North Carolina.
Well, he misses his first free throw after coming back from the injury. 5:29 left in our half. Maryland 29. 26, North Carolina. Look at the fans trying to distract him back behind the glass. It's become standard everywhere.
It was interesting in the North Carolina-Villanova game. Dean Smith got up when the fans were waving at the Villanova players as that game went down the wire and asked the fans to not do that. It was quite a gesture.
Yes. I've never liked it. Branch. Bias foul. Brad Daugherty got it.
There again, you see an excellent offensive move by Bias as he used the rim to prevent Daugherty from being able to come up with a block. Now watch this. He goes under. Daugherty figures he's going to be right there, but the rim is in the way, so Daugherty can't block it on the other side. Smart move.
Len Bias, 6'8" freshman from Landover, 59% foul shooter, hasn't scored yet in this game.
This young man's going to be quite a horse by the time that he gets out of school. He just has a frame that looks like he's going to put on the right kind of weight and really be some kind of rebounder.
5:17 left in the half.
Got a good-looking release on that shot, too.
And Bias gets them both. 31-27 Maryland. 5:12 left in the first half.
There's the shot right there. He's got to take it.
Braddock. Matt Daugherty. Oh, Braddock from a walk-away outside. That's three.
That was a three-pointer in just about any rule.
He has 6 on 2 3-point goals in this game, and it's 31-30 Maryland.
North Carolina picking up a little earlier now. That might have been on the rim.
I think the ball was still on the rim when perhaps Brad Daugherty was the man that got the hand on it.
And Beal did a good job almost coming up with another steal. We'll see it again. This is going to be awful close right here.
A lot of hands up here.
If that ball is anywhere in the cylinder and touched, now there was about a quarter of that ball still up in there.
Michael Jordan, turnaround jumper, drops off the rim, and Brad Daugherty gets it back up and in, and he has 6 points.
Daugherty making his presence felt. He's got a lot of size inside.
North Carolina in front, 32-31. 4:25 left in the first half. Atkins all alone for 3, and it's short, and Braddock clears the rebound for Carolina.
Jeff lost a little concentration on that shot when Michael Jordan came running at it.
That's Daugherty. It belongs to Maryland.
No, did they get it? Yeah, no, Michael Jordan touched it last. I tell you, there have been a lot of easy shots inside that are kind of just getting by the fellas. Lefty looking on intently.
Adrian Branch with 4 minutes left in the first half. His club now down by a point. They've been up by as many as 6. Branch has been the hot man. Throws that one up. It's not there for him. Michael Jordan brings it up.
Good pass ahead.
Daugherty. He'll turn it over.
It's amazing because Daugherty was open. He just a little step slow right there. There was a very good pass ahead, and we talk about that crisp movement. The pass should have been there.
You're looking at Dean Smith in the North Carolina huddle. We have a timeout taken here at Cole Fieldhouse in College Park. 3:50 left in our field by the authority of the Atlantic Coast Conference. It is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this game without the expressed written consent of the Atlantic Coast Conference is strictly prohibited. Red White. right. Billy Packer at Cole Fieldhouse. 3:50 left in the first half. And Maryland now down by a point to North Carolina.
They got those leads, Fred, by hitting a lot of three-pointers. And all of a sudden, they've come up a little dry trying to take the ball inside. Let's see if they go back outside and play a little bit of that perimeter game.
North Carolina has 4 three-pointers tonight. Maryland has 3 from Adrian Branch. There's Dean Smith.
And you know, that three-pointer really brings you around in a hurry. The Braddock hitting that one outside, all of a sudden it really changes the complexion of the game. I really noticed it watching the Villanova game. You know, you have an opportunity to come back and you're thinking about the three-pointer and it's just not there. North Carolina picking up a lot higher now in their man-to-man defense.
Herman Field to Fothergill.
And that prevents you some from getting the three-pointer because they're out there playing you tight at that distance.
Atkins, Fothergill. Inside intended for Ben Coleman, and he's fouled by Warren Martin. Oh, you're talking about big lineups.
Got a lot of beef out there right now on both teams.
Martin and Brad Daugherty, both 6'11" in the game simultaneously for North Carolina.
And I wonder, as you pointed out, Fred, if that's not a little test by Dean Smith. Good hustle by Beal.
Herman Beal goes up and gets it. He has 2, and it's 33-32 Maryland. 3:15 left in the first half. Hale.
Martin open inside.
Matt Daugherty. Michael Jordan. Long jumper by Michael Jordan.
That ball just kind of lofted its way on up there. A lot of arc on Michael Jordan's jumper, and you notice he doesn't go off the floor very much when he has the wide open shot.
35-33, North Carolina by 2 now. 2:45 left in the first half. Michael Jordan now has 8 points.
Good help by Daugherty.
Shot's good by Fothergill. Fothergill gets his first 2. Lob down low. Brad Daugherty right back out. Michael Jordan for 3. His second straight three-point goal.
We talked about the three-pointers changing the complexion. They picked up a three-point lead.
2:19 left in the first half. Jordan has 4 buckets and 11 points. 3 three-pointers. Atkins looking for help. Gets Adrian Branch.
Good help by Hale. Good help.
Charge. Steve Hale got in position. Adrian Branch called for the charge, and that's his 3rd foul, Bill.
That really hurts Maryland because Adrian's such a scoring threat out there. Here you see Adrian coming. Now, if Adrian would have just stepped out to the side, but he was content to just bull his way on through there, he'd have picked up a foul on Hale.
Well, now he's got to be content sitting on the bench the rest of the half because Ed Farmer's on the floor to replace him as Branch sits down with 3 personal fouls.
Well, Hale really hadn't squared up that much, except that Adrian Branch played right into his hands.
Branch sits down with 17 first half points. Brad Daugherty. Fothergill's up with him and fouls him. Oh, and Fothergill can't believe it.
Fothergill had an awful lot of the ball on that play.
First on Fothergill.
Here in the little triangle, Daugherty was wide open on this play. He goes up, Fothergill right on the ball. I think it was a pretty good block.
16 foul charge to Maryland. North Carolina's been charged with 5. Brad Daugherty on the line.
Pretty good looking free thrower and a fine freshman player right here.
There's Adrian Branch. He has 17 points, but he's got to sit out the last 2 minutes of this half. Brad Daugherty with 7 points, looking for number 8. He's got it, and it's 40-38. North Carolina with 1:58 left in the first half.
North Carolina back to what would be their opening lineup.
Excuse me, I think I said 38. The score on the screen is correct, 40-35.
North Carolina really picking up the defense now, pushing it out much farther. Lefty calling the timeout, not satisfied with what he had seen out there.
Lefty gets this timeout with 1:44 left in the first half, and his club down by 5. It is 40-35, North Carolina. Maryland had a 6-point lead early, and now the Tar Heels back on top.
You notice how it took the fans out of this game, too. It's awful quiet here, and the Maryland fans normally, and particularly playing against the University of North Carolina, make an awful lot of noise, but they've been very, very quiet here.
Sellout crowd of over 14,000 here in Cole Fieldhouse. You were looking at the Terrapin.
Well, you know, right now, here you have the band playing. I'm looking across the way, and there is not one person clapping their hands. The cheerleaders are jumping around. You almost wonder if it's not one of those deals where they're trying the silent treatment. But they got to remember this is their ball club. I can't believe it. You can look across the way, and not one person is doing anything. Now they're standing up when the TV camera goes and looks at them.
Well, that's interesting. The kids over there in the area of the band, there they are. See them?
Well, that was one way to get them to start clapping. They've got to do a little bit more to support this ball club.
This ball club hasn't exactly disgraced them tonight. They haven't played that far.
Well, there they are. You put them on the camera, and then they really want to get up and do some cheering. I think, Fred, the reason for that timeout was Lefty is down 5. The game was getting away from him a little bit offensively. He makes the good timeout call to remind them that they've got to go ahead and stay in this ball game at half. You come down and take a bad shot right now. North Carolina come down and get this to a real working margin here. They've got the 5-point lead, and Maryland could ill afford to come down and not get in some kind of offensive pattern.
Billy, you talked about three-point shooting. Carolina's hit 5 out of 8. Their last 3 straight in this game. Maryland's 3 for 6. So we've had 8 3-point goals in the first half of this game.
Let's see if they go to Coleman. Let him touch the ball inside a little bit.
Adkins.
Farmer. Farmer outside. First time he's been in the ball game. Here's Coleman. Good screen for him. Good play. And that's why Lefty Driesell called the timeout. Good, smart coaching right there.
Then Coleman has 9, 40-37. North Carolina by 3. Minute 24 left in the half. Michael Jordan as Adkins hits the deck. Michael Jordan gets his 13th point.
Adkins have a very hard time handling Jordan down in that glass area.
Minute 11 left in our first half. Adkins is lobbed.
Oh!
That was a pass, wasn't it?
That was a pass. And it's a 3-point pass.
What a pass by Adkins. He was trying to lob to Coleman.
Did you notice how Coleman kind of sensed it was going into hoop and didn't even bother jumping?
Sam Perkins came right back and knocked down 2. He has 8. It's 44-40. Carolina with 46 seconds left in the first half.
Dean Smith wants his club to drop back a little bit now because he will have an opportunity to get that ball back before the half is up.
Farmer. Baxter.
Good penetration by Baxter. Gave
Atkins.
How about the shot?
Till we get the bucket.
How about the shot? There's Baxter's good penetration. Set up Atkins. Atkins goes in.
No basket.
That's a big, tough break. Now, how about the scoreboard, Fred? It's 44-42. I don't think
They didn't count the goal. He waved it off.
Now,
The Carolina
the Carolina people are saying, wait a second. The basket should not count. Now, there was a game last week or the week before in which the game ended up with a team winning. I'm sorry I can't pull the name of the club off my head right away. They won the game, but it was later revealed that the score clock was wrong by a point and actually ended up as a tie ball game. And after everything was said and done, a day later, they found out that the score should have been tied. And fortunately here, that's not going to happen in the fact that the officials have changed the score 44-40.
Richard Papero waved the goal off. The scoreboard had already put it up. Now they've corrected it. It's now 44-40, North Carolina.
And they go 4 corners, realizing they were going to get the ball back one more time. Dean Smith wanted to pull his defense back, and he'll go a little 4 corners here to get the last shot.
Well, they'll have to take the shot with 2 seconds left on the game clock if they run it down to the complete 30. Here we go. Michael Jordan, baseline. Oh.
I think he can get any kind of shot he wants.
He now has 15 points. And a whistle blows a foul on Matt Doherty.
Now, the basket will not count. The call was made before that time.
There's a foul on Matt Doherty.
Now, they're not in the 1-and-1. Now, watch this, Fred. This is going to be very good play by Matt Doherty. I don't believe Maryland's in the 1-and-1. Therefore, Doherty fouls, and all will happen is Maryland will get the ball out on the sidelines. A very smart play.
They're not even going to get it out. We've got the halftime.
That's right. He fouled. Now, actually, I thought they might have 1 second to go, but that was a very, very smart play by Brad Doherty.
And Lefty really livid. Look at him.
Well, he figures there's got to be time on the clock, and I think he's right. I think he's right. Because the shot was made as the buzzer went off. Now, if he was fouled back out 20 feet from the basket, there had to be some time left on the clock.
Well, a wild finish to the first half of action here at Cole Fieldhouse in College Park, Maryland at the end of one wild half. North Carolina's gone in front of Maryland 46-40. We'll be back with the start of our halftime show right after this. 2:47 left in this game.
Here we have still the triangle and 2 defense by Maryland. Braddock's being played man-to-man, and Beal's on Jordan man-to-man.
Jordan and Beal getting after it pretty good down low.
Lefty's trying to keep Jordan from getting out of the box early here in the second half.
There's Brad Daugherty. Good. Brad Daugherty has 10.
And a good screen by Sam Perkins to open him up.
48-42. North Carolina.
That shot is there all day long against that defense.
Adrian Branch. Len Bias. And a whistle down inside. Jimmy Braddock.
Braddock on the slap. Now there was a case where Bias, just being a freshman, not having the experience to realize he went up for this and he gets fouled. Now he should have shot this ball right here. Once he got fouled, instead of passing off, just throw it up towards the basket, and he'd have had a 2-shot foul.
Branch, nope. Oh, Michael Jordan turns it over. Picked up by Adkins.
We're back to the way this game started. Very sloppy play to open the second half.
Then Coleman with a little jump hook. It's going to count. He's fouled. 14 for Coleman.
Here we see Coleman inside. We talked about him being able to work on anybody. He takes a little jump step across the lane. No walk at all. A little half hook. Nice play.
Then Coleman has hit 5 consecutive shots now after missing his first one. He's hit the next 5. He has 14 points. And Coleman on the free throw line looking for his 15th point of the game. Maryland down by 4. They'll try to get him within 3. Oh, big play by Bias. And it's picked up by Beal.
Good block by Perkins. But Maryland again just out hustling North Carolina. Oh, look at Michael Jordan. Comes from the weak side. He does that about 5 or 6 times a ball game. And he's going to come all the way across the lane. You can see where he started on the other side of the lane as that pass was being thrown.
Perkins gets a hand on it.
Smart play by Sam Perkins. Batting it down towards his basket.
There's Maryland there, however, to pick it up. Adkins, Adrian Branch for 3. Good. Adrian Branch has 20. That is his 4th three-point goal of the night.
And we see the three-pointers again being very important.
And now the crowd's starting to come to life a little bit.
Well, normally they're like this the whole ball game.
48-47, North Carolina, 17-35 left in the game.
Now, Sam Perkins is coming out in the wings. If he can get somebody to set some screens for him, he'd find he's open for about 12-footers.
Braddock trying to get it to Brad Daugherty. Adkins balancing himself on the out-of-bounds stripe and saves it.
Good help by Coleman.
Len Bias.
Branch wide open.
He's going to try it. It's for 3. He's short with it. Look at Coleman. Back to Branch for 3 again. Good.
Good teamwork right there. North Carolina wants a timeout.
23 for Adrian Branch on the night. And Maryland has come storming back. We have a long way to go.
Now the fans are in the ballgame.
Look at them now in Cole Fieldhouse. The Maryland fans are up for it now. We have timeout taken here with 17 minutes left in this basketball game. There's your score. It's now Maryland 50, North Carolina 48, and we're back in Cole Fieldhouse where with 17 minutes left in the game. Maryland, after being down 6 points at halftime, has come back to take the lead with 17 minutes to go, and they got the fans happy and into it now, Billy.
They really were. They were very, very quiet in that first half, and they're picking it up right now, and you expect this place to be a very difficult place to play for the visitor. There's Lefty. That tie getting a little bit of skew right there.
There's a kind of a prophetic sign up there right now. It says ACC Adrian Clobbers Carolina. Adrian, of course, Adrian Branch, who right now has 23 points in this game. He's 9 for 15 from the floor, 5 for 8 on three-point shots here tonight.
Now, Fred, it's very unusual to see a team play a triangle and 2 as Maryland is for a whole ball game. And basically, that's been their defense the whole time. Michael Jordan knows he's being guarded right now by Beal.
Herman Beal really fighting through a screen to get there that time. Brad Daugherty.
Down to 4 seconds.
Braddock. Sam Perkins gets it up. Blocked by Len Bias. And Maryland has it. Herman Beal to Adkins, and the Terrapins playing strongly. They're going to lob to Coleman, and look at Perkins there to take it away. But Coleman gets it back. It bounces to Adkins wide open in the lane. Adkins has 7, and they got the bounce of the ball that time. They lead by 4, does Maryland.
And I pointed out about the crispness of University of North Carolina. They just have not had it for a couple of weeks, and it's starting to add up for them right now. Maryland much quicker.
Len Bias clears the rebound. The missed shot by Braddock. 15:59 left in the game. 52-48 Maryland. Maryland has run off 10 straight points.
Oh, that wasn't the shot they wanted.
Bias got up a brick, and the ball's out of bounds. The official one held.
I think Carolina really got themselves a break right there with Bias taking that shot, because Maryland had been taking such good shot selection. He fired one up from way out yonder. Nobody under the basket at the time. Unfortunately for Maryland, North Carolina touched.
Coleman rebounds the miss. Maryland getting 3 chances at it this trip.
See how North Carolina's really coming out on Branch.
Adkins, good.
A good run for the University of Maryland.
That was a 3-pointer for Adkins. He now has 10, and it's 55-48. That's 7, the biggest lead of the night.
Doherty takes one.
Matt Doherty gets it down. He has 8.
I'm kind of amazed that North Carolina hasn't taken advantage of that shot against this particular defense.
There's a little pressure now from North Carolina, and they're not handling it very well. Branch, they have walked with the ball. Adkins now has hit his last.
Adrian did a good job stepping through that trap.
Bias open over, shoots over Brad Doherty and gets it.
That's his range.
Len Bias has 6. Matt Doherty, Jimmy Braddock. Sam Perkins for 3.
Good rebound.
Brad Doherty, and he's fouled by Len Bias. That's the first on Len Bias.
That's a good rebound by Doherty. Now you see Sam Perkins kind of fading away on that shot. Takes off that little bit of touch. There's a good two-handed rebound by Doherty, and Bias was riding him underneath.
Team fouls now even at 2 apiece. Dean Smith and his assistant coaches.
It was an interesting observation the other day where Billy Guthridge was talking about how much he enjoys being an assistant in North Carolina. One day he had hoped to be a head coach, but right now he said he's very satisfied to end his career as an assistant at University of North Carolina.
He's done well for the university.
Good dish.
Branch get it up
Good
the court.
dish. Oh. Nice play.
12 for Adkins, and how about Branch at 6'8", getting it up first?
Well, Adrian plays guard. He can handle it out there. Maryland really picking up intensity right now.
Terps are unmade, and they are playing hard.
And his defense is going to give North Carolina trouble getting Jordan open, because Field is playing him mighty tough.
Hale down inside, Sam Perkins, and a foul called against Ben Coleman before Perkins can get the shot away. That's the first foul on Ben Coleman. See the intensity in this.
Yeah, there's the case where Sam Perkins set up right against Coleman down in low. There's the steal. Good hit ahead. Adrian Branch knew he was going to dish this ball off, did a good job, and Atkins filled that lane beautifully.
14:06 left in this basketball game. Oh, Martin seemed to be all alone on the inbounds pass, and Coleman blocked it. Here come the Terps.
Maryland just out hustling.
Adrian Branch.
They've got it spread out now, man to man.
Maryland has outscored North Carolina 19-5 this half. Bias. Oh, count. Everything going their way. Look at Adkins. Hey, fellas, it's not the end of the game. There's a long way to go. 13:45, but you can tell from the reaction of both the players and the fans what it means.
They're starting to wave that Maryland flag right now. It's a good jump shot right here. Bias is in his range, about 15 feet where he likes to shoot. Gets a big break as he banks it in. And he'll go to the line, and those three-point plays have been extremely critical in this ballgame.
Michael Jordan's second personal foul, the third team foul on North Carolina. Maryland's been whistled for 3. Here's Len Bias, the 6'8" freshman from Landover. He has 8.
Guys were in the lane a little early. Boy, is Field just hustling on this court.
Herman Field clears the rebound. Maryland with a 10-point lead in the basketball. 13:37 to play. Branch against Jordan. Look at him work. Well, they got help down there from Warren Martin.
That was a smart play by Adrian Branch. He was wanting to challenge Jordan. And instead of going and putting up a bad shot, he just worked him until he could get him one back out again.
Herman Field with 7 rebounds in this game, 5 off the offensive board. Fothergill goes up over the top, and he has 4 points.
Everybody running away from the ball. Oh, that was a big break for North Carolina. Nobody back. Martin didn't see a Hale, so he fired the pass at half court. Dean Smith kind of can't believe it. Only a great catch by Michael Jordan saved that one. North Carolina just can't seem to solve this triangle and 2 defense.
Branch just committed his 4th foul.
Trying to go for the steal. He's still in the ball game though.
Hale. 2-time.
There was Beal again.
He tried to throw it out of bounds off the leg of a Maryland player, and Maryland just came up with it.
Well, you see how much Beal is hustling. He's guarding Michael Jordan one-on-one and came over and helped out underneath the basket. Maryland can't afford to slow things down right now, Fred. They've got good momentum going. Good offensive strategy. They're down to 11.
Atkins for 3, doesn't get it. Fothergill keeps it. Boy, Maryland doing a job on the offensive board. That shot won't drop. Martin clears the rebound with 12:26 left in the game.
Fothergill coming from behind.
Fothergill committed the 2nd foul.
Number 24. Lefty Driesell was able to get Adrian Branch out of the ballgame there before he picked up a cheap one.
So Adrian Branch, who has 23 points in this contest, has to sit down. He missed the last 2 minutes of the first half. He sits down here with 12:26 left in this game.
Now what happened to North Carolina is with the team they had in the game just before they took Hale out of there, Hale was the only true guard in the ball game. Michael Jordan playing down here at a forward spot, so there was nobody to help bring the ball up the court.
You saw the second half scoring. Maryland has owned the second half of this game. They are up by a dozen points right now.
The shot is there.
Perkins to Doherty. Got to take it. It's for 3. Good.
The shot is there all day long.
11 points, Matt Doherty. Now 63-54.
Tar Heels again find themselves in an uphill fight.
Matt Doherty. Faster. Now Atkins. 11:50 left in the game. Maryland by 9.
Getting a little cautious with the ball. They got their lead by attacking the basket. Now they're getting cautious.
That's 2. Jeff Baxter for 2, his first 2 points of the night. It almost looks like you're going to try to run some clock, and then they fire one up from that range. Perkins.
Sam's coming with a hook.
Not quite, but look at the big rebound. Jordan is going to be called for a foul. The basket doesn't count. Michael Jordan gets his 3rd foul.
Well, he really skies for this rebound. Now he's down inside with Beal. I thought it was a pretty good rebound myself.
So Jordan's basket doesn't count. There's Dean Smith gathering the Tar Heels around. They're happy at the Maryland bench because with this timeout coming here with 11 minutes and 23 seconds left in this basketball game, Maryland is back in Cole Fieldhouse. The second half shooting percentage. Look at that. Maryland has had 19 shots to Carolina's 10, and that's what the percentages work out to.
And in the first half, Carolina got up more of the shots. And during that timeout, I'm sure that Dean Smith wanted to get some defensive intensity out of his ball club. Really, the guy that's setting the pace of this game is Herman Beal, and he's been doing it with good aggressive defense. In North Carolina, they haven't been able to get that.
Individual shooting, Branch is at 9 out of 17. Atkins 6 out of 9. Coleman 5 out of 6 for Maryland. Michael Jordan 6 for 12 for North Carolina.
Beal, as an example, despite the fact they have all these trees playing in the ball game, got 7 rebounds.
5 of them off the offensive board.
And he's out of the ball game right now, so let's look for Coleman. Try to get that ball a little bit more.
Fothergill.
He's being guarded by Sam Perkins.
Gladys knocked it loose. Fothergill recovers. It's to Jeff Baxter. Down inside. Bias, he's fouled.
Now, Baxter's quickness really adds a dimension to the ball club because he has that ability to penetrate and then off and on the dish off to guys like Atkins. This time he gets a good bounce pass into Bias, who gets fouled by Doherty.
Matt Doherty's second foul. Team fouls even at 5 each in the second half. 10:59 left in this game.
Off for Bias. Oh! What a lob. That was set up beautifully. Bias came in from the weak side, and that really has the fans going out.
Look at the Maryland bench.
Now, Bias is now on Jordan. Jordan has not been able to touch the ball that much. Here he goes.
Jordan trying to get it back out and does. Maryland up by 13. Matt Doherty, that's Jordan inside. Couldn't get it. Fothergill clears the rebound, and the Terrapins have it going here in Cole Fieldhouse now.
They're really picking it up with their defensive hustle.
Well, I have to think that the defense is what started this offensive burst for Maryland. He came out playing very hard in the second half. Adkins.
Dean Smith really working hard on the bench, much more so than normal. He's over there really working hard.
On the shot clock, Baxter in the lane. Jeff Baxter has 4.
Dean Smith wanted his team to pack back in as the clock went down. There goes Doherty driving. We're going to see that lob pass down the other end. Perfect pass by Atkins. Now remember, he made his last attempt for the lob on a direct pass into the basket. No call right there. A foul either way, which is a good no call. Shows you how high Bias can go up in the air.
At the other end of the floor, Jeff Adkins committed his 3rd foul. Fothergill is going to take a breather. So's Adkins. Steve Rivers on the floor now. And Herman Veal back in the game. Matt Doherty on the free throw line. He has 11 points. There's Lefty.
Doherty made a good hard drive to the basket that last time.
Lefty didn't think it should be a shooting foul. Jeff Adkins committing that foul. He's had a night. 15 points, 5 assists, and 4 steals in this game.
Matt Doherty having a quiet night with quite a bit of scoring there.
Free throw good. 13 points for Matt Doherty.
Here's North Carolina picking up first time in the full court dropping defense. Now they drop it on back to man-to-man.
Rivers. They lob to Coleman. He's there.
Got it. Here's what we talked about, the no call. Defense came over from the weak side. The officials have been very consistent with that call tonight.
Maryland up by 15. They're excited. Their bench is excited. The fans are excited. Perkins. Nice fake. Shot wouldn't drop, but Brad Doherty gets it right back, and he has a dozen.
And there's a lot of time to go in this ballgame, down to 9-17. And as long as Maryland keeps playing aggressively, it's going to be up to North Carolina to pick up their defensive intensity.
Do the Tar Heels have another comeback in them?
Well, when you keep burying yourself in the hole deep enough, it's hard to come back out of it.
Len Bias working on the baseline. He's got Coleman, reverses it. Oh, what a play by Ben Coleman. He's fouled, and it's going to count. Brad Doherty got it. They are playing inspired basketball.
They really are. They're just out hustling North Carolina every step of the way. Here's Bias, gets inside, puts it up, pass inside. Coleman just overpowers Doherty inside and has a chance for another three-pointer. He's hit 7 shots in a row as Ben Coleman.
That's Brad Doherty's 4th personal foul, so he's in foul trouble. And Coleman on the line now has 18 points in the game. He's 1 for 3 on the free throw line. His club up by 15. 16. 19 for Coleman, 74-58. Maryland leading North Carolina with 8:50 left in the game.
North Carolina starting to panic a little bit out there. They're looking to want to put up a shot quickly. Look at Doherty.
Matt Doherty from 3-point.
That's not their game.
And huge help to Herman Veal person.
Much too much time in the clock for them to panic and try to put up quick shots.
James Smith helped get out and pick them up at midcourt.
Yep, they've got to do it with defensive pressure if they're going to get back in this ball game, because Maryland's playing super ball right now.
Dean's going to get Curtis Hunter back in the game. Baxter to Rivers. Baseline drive. Blocked by Martin. Picked up by Perkins. Another out hustle. Rivers got it.
Just out hustle.
Steve Rivers gets 2 just by simply going back and taking it away from the big man. And Rivers just 6'3". 76-58. Maryland by 18. That Terrapins are roaring here in Cole Fieldhouse right now. Perkins fade away. Good.
Oh, when Sam comes across that lane, it's something to see.
Dean Smith's going to get a timeout right here. He has to change the momentum of this basketball game. Look at the fans in Cole. They are happy here because with 7:51 left in this game, this timeout, the score, Maryland 76, North Carolina.
You just see Maryland out hustling North Carolina. Rivers goes in, gets the block. Then he just hustles back in, gets down on the floor for the ball, picks it up, and makes a shot as he's falling to the floor. That's just out-and-out hustle.
Well, the whole thing started, he probably took a shot he shouldn't have to begin with and then makes that play.
Well, he almost was forced to go down inside because nobody picked him up as he went on the baseline, but That was just out-and-out hustle, and that's what Maryland's been doing here in the second half.
76-60 Maryland. There's your situation. 7:51 left in the game. The Terrapins up by 16 in North Carolina.
Trying to pick up full court pressure.
Rivers, two-time by Perkins and Braddock. Need some help.
Double team, you know there's somebody open.
Matt Doherty got a hand on it as they tried to get it to Veal.
Now, when you're getting caught in a double team up high like that, the one safe place to throw it is cross court towards your own basket. Here you have Doherty with 4, Branch with 4. So far, Maryland hasn't missed Branch since he stepped out of the game. Cross court towards your own basket.
Nice feed. Coleman. Coleman has 21. He got a good feed that time.
Now Maryland, let's see if they change their defense a little bit.
Braddock tries for 3, doesn't get it, and Veal, look at him go on the boards.
Good rip out by Herman Veal. Boy, he's played some ball game.
Maryland has taken command of the basketball game. So the game now, Maryland shooting 62%, Carolina 48. There's Coleman again.
8 in a row.
23 points for Ben Coleman. 7 minutes left in this game. Maryland at the moment taking North Carolina apart, and Coleman has hit 9 shots in a row.
You think emotion doesn't have something to do in sports? Maryland just on top of their game right now.
Terps up by 20.
And
fires and misses.
North Carolina taking some bad shots, trying to get the whole lead back at once. They're in serious, serious trouble right here.
6:36 left in this game. Maryland with the basketball and a 20-point lead. Baxter, baseline feed. Bias to Rivers all alone for 3, and it's good.
Wonder what this shooting percentage is in the second half, Fred. They shot over 50% in the first half, and it seemed like they're missing some shots. They have just drilled it here in the second half.
83-60, Maryland by 23. And a foul on Rivers.
There you go. Maryland is shooting 64% for the game. Now, considering the fact that they were shooting at halftime 54% or 57%, they're shooting up in the 80s in this half.
That's amazing. They are just blistering the thing.
And playing so hard.
Lefty's almost smiling a little bit.
Well, I think not yet. I think he probably has reason to. You know what's amazing, too? When you think back at Maryland and the Wake Forest game, I mean, how could the same players, the same coach, the same type of preparation be so different from one game to another?
Tell you what, they got snowed out of Duke, and then just started that direction, shooting the basketball like they are right now. They would have melted all the snow between here and there.
They've been amazing.
Sam Perkins has a dozen.
Down to 6:14. Of course, the clock's still on. It'll be off in a little bit, but one thing that Maryland has done that I think is very wise, they haven't tried to tempo the game. They just keep playing hard.
Jordan takes it away from Atkins, moves on Veal. Oh, Michael Jordan has 17. Those are his first 2 points of the second half. But what a maneuver in the air.
The first 2 for the second half, and I don't think he's had more than 1 or 2 shots in the second half. But again, credit that to Veal. They get back to
Baxter to Bias for the reverse, and a foul call.
That Baxter is quick.
Sam Perkins has his second foul.
Baxter drove all the way on through. There's Bias going down inside again and picking up the foul on Perkins.
17 foul.
Len Bias on the line. He has 10 points in the game. Team fouls now, both clubs in a 1-on-1.
Bias has a real good-looking foul up here.
Funny, Billy shot 59% on the line, but he's a better-looking shooter than that.
Yeah, I think that he just needs to go that line a little bit more, as he's got a good-looking shot. Nice rotation on the ball. He didn't make that one. There's Veal again.
Veal out-hustled him again. Another rebound for the Terrapin Folders. 84-64, Maryland. 5:34 left in the game. Perkins gets a hand on it, can't hold it. It's out of bounds.
Looks like Maryland's spreading it out a little bit there. Well, when they introduced the North Carolina team for the starting lineups tonight, the PA announcer said the formerly #1 team in America, which is a little jab, maybe a big jab, but there's no question that this is going to move North Carolina down a little bit further. 20 points down, 5:27 to go. It'd be hard to imagine they could overcome that.
Billy, there's been something happening this year. Some of the good teams, when they get upset, they get blown out once in a while.
Yep.
Happened to St. John's. Boston College gets in by 17.
Well, Maryland has just outstrapped North Carolina in addition to shooting so well.
Atkins gets the free throw. 13 points for Jeff Atkins.
He's played a good, solid ball game.
He certainly has. Atkins gets them both. 14 for Atkins. Look at the second half shooting. There it is, Billy. 19 out of 27. North Carolina 6 for 18. And I saw Clemson do that Saturday night, shoot that well. Braddock misses. Perkins
That's a goal.
Gives Sam Perkins his 14th point.
Well, I think Coleman just wanted to go up and get that one. It wasn't a very wise play. There's Braddock putting it up. Perkins grabs the rebound. Now, Coleman's right under the basket. You should never try to block that shot when you're standing right under the basket.
Baxter to Atkins. 5 minutes, 8 seconds left in the game. Maryland up by 20.
Next possession or so down the floor, that clock will be off.
Oh, look at Coleman's feed to Baxter. The shot doesn't go for it. Braddock clears timeline. Takes it wildly off balance and hit it.
Oh, they called that
They called it 3.
Well, it's been called 3, although I think he stepped underneath the line. That was an interesting play.
Atkins.
Smart play by Atkins, just bouncing the ball over. This is the last possession that'll include the 30-second clock.
And Maryland takes this time out. Atkins in a little bit of trouble, and Lefty wants to talk to the officials about whether or not that was a 3 or a 2. Right now it's a 3, and we have timeout with 4:32 left in this game. Maryland leading North Carolina 86-69. We're back.
Braddock steps underneath. Now he is over the line. He shoots the shot, and that is nowhere near a three-point play. He had 1 foot over the line, and then he went up in the air. Now, had he been behind the line and then gone in the air and landed on the other side of the three-point lane, that'd have been fine. But in that particular case, he was a good foot inside when he took off from on his shot.
But the three-point goal stands. It's 86-69. Maryland, you saw the turnovers in the game a moment ago. Len Bias.
Down to 8 seconds.
On the shot clock, 5-4. Drive from the deep corner is good.
That had to go. It was just in the card.
It is Maryland's night.
It was in the card.
17 for Atkins with a three-point goal. It's 89-69.
Now you see North Carolina is setting solid screens up at the top, trying to get three-point play opportunity.
Sam Perkins hooks. It isn't there. Atkins and Exum tangled up, and C selects him. Fouls Jeff Atkins. Here we are. The 30-second clock is gone.
Now, one of the things, Fred, about the three-point play that the experiments will show is when are shots taken and what was the score at the time, because the committee wants to find out how many shots are taken as desperation moves to get back into the ball game and not part of the actual flow of basketball. And from here on out, North Carolina is going to be forced to take a lot of three-point plays that ordinarily they probably wouldn't, and that, of course, will be noticed.
Jeff Atkins, free throw good.
Very good. Atkins, a very good free throw shooter. And he seems to be very calm when he gets under pressure.
Boy, that look at the Carolina bench tells you a lot. Free throw misses. Matt Doherty trying to run by Atkins. Baxter waiting back in the lane. And that was a foul. Matt Doherty got the shot.
Doherty got hit right in the top of the head as he released the shot. There you see him right here. Now, there's no need to foul Doherty on this play. I mean, you don't want any fouls. That would have been a three-point play had he hit it. But he got fouled right in the top of the head.
Atkins now has 4 fouls. So does Adrian Branch. Branch has been on the bench since the 12-minute mark, but haven't had a
Well, Adrian Branch is the one that offensively got this steamroller going in the second half. He had the big first half also with 17. But Lefty's team hadn't needed him here once they got that move going. They just battled on the board.
Doherty has 13 free throws off the heel of the rim. 3:54 left in the game. Maryland leading here 90-69. Boy, they have done a job. They were down by 6 at halftime.
And North Carolina also coming into the ball game had done a real job on their opponents. They held them to 43% shooting. And Maryland's almost doubling that here in the second half.
14 points for Matt Doherty. Baxter.
Here's Baxter with his quickness. A pretty tough guy to double team.
Len Bias. Well, it's being kicked around the lane. No whistle blowing, and here comes North Carolina.
It was all accidental on the kick, so therefore it's not a turnover.
Matt Doherty trying to get 3, does.
Down to 3:30. Now, North Carolina, Maryland at this point has to think about occupying that clock a little bit, because your first goal is to win the game, not to score 100 points.
Matt Doherty has 17. There's Baxter. Can't get it. The tip try by Coleman twice won't go, and Perkins brings it out for Carolina.
And they're turning that ball over awful quick. They don't have any need to put up those kind of shots.
Braddock's shot wasn't there. Exum steps in off the baseline. Can't get it. Tip try, no. Here's Perkins. He was fouled. The basket's going to count. Sam Perkins has 16.
Lefty could use a timeout here to reorganize his club a little bit. They don't do that kind of play inside. Nice hustle by Exum. North Carolina really battling on the boards. Perkins gets it and uses those long arms to get himself a three-point play opportunity.
That's Coleman's third foul. Brad Doherty will enter the lineup. First opportunity's coming in for Perkins. 3:02 left. North Carolina down by 15. Perkins trying to get them 1 point closer.
See Maryland go into that little tiger paws offense that they have, just to try to use that clock up and make sure they get the win. As you pointed out at the top of the show, Fred, they still are one of those fringe teams for the NCAA, and this game really has to help them.
All kind of bodies on the floor in front of the scores bench. One of the officials got tangled up with two players trying to report.
Lefty wanting it to be called a jump ball situation, saying he has the arrow. He's going to take the timeout now.
Well, the arrow's North Carolina's way.
Call your attention for change in normal traffic.
Lefty still debating.
Well, right now he needs to put this ball in the deep freeze a little bit.
Timeout taken here, and here are some of the people that made it all possible for you to watch it tonight. Mike Berg, our producer. Director Lou Rainoni. Associate Director Randy Cook. TV Coordinator Patty Flynn. Our Technical Director Tom Courtney. Pal Kidd is the engineer in charge. Some of the other people who are here tonight. Good pictures, guys. It was a funny scene over at the scores table a moment ago, Billy. There were two guys sitting there waiting to come in the game. Then they get the flurry with the ball right in front of them, and somehow an official wound up on the floor with the two guys waiting to come in.
Well, that sometimes presents a real problem because there's not an awful lot of room over there anyway. And there was what Lefty thought was a jump ball situation, and had it been a jump ball, it would have been his team's possession. Instead, he didn't get the jump ball, but I think he very wisely called a timeout right here. Try to get his club to realize that, as I said before, the first job is to win the game, not by how much you win by, and you don't have to be worrying about scoring 100 points. 2:51 to go on the game, and with the possession of the ball, hey, if the other team never gets it, you can't lose.
Well, it looks for all the world like Maryland's going to win this game. You don't think Lefty will come off the court celebrating, do you, when this thing's over?
I would imagine that he would hold his hands high above his head. Look at that tie.
Lefty's flying right now. 2:51 left in the game. Maryland with a 15-point lead. North Carolina with the basketball.
And you know, with the exception of that Wake Forest game, this Maryland team has been on a tear.
They're going to come out of here 15-6, having won 8 of their last 9.
And they're playing tough man-to-man right now.
Jordan for 3, misses.
Now, they've been playing that triangle and 2 all game, and they came out of that timeout with a man-to-man.
Coleman, he's got Beal down there, and he's fouled.
Good foul by Curtis Hunter.
Adrian Branch back on the floor now for Maryland. Sam Perkins returning for North Carolina with 2:31 to play.
Not a lot of time expiring on the clock.
There the guys are over 20 in this one. Branch has missed about 12 minutes of the action with foul calls, but leading scorer tonight with 23. Adkins 21, Coleman 20.
But you know, if I had to pick an MVP, it wouldn't be one of those 3 guys. It'd be this fella right here on the line. His defense has been absolutely sensational in the second half. 2 points, but 11 rebounds. And he's held Michael Jordan to 2 points in the second half. He really has set the tempo.
Yeah, it's amazing just watching Beal play. You'd guess he had about 18 probably. He just hasn't been shooting.
3 points for the game.
Giving 4, and
make it.
92-75. Maryland over North Carolina with 2:28 left in this game.
And they're straight man-to-man right now. Good reason for this is they want to cut down on the three-point play shot.
Jordan trying to draw the foul while he shoots. He misses the shot, but he gets the foul. I think he was kind of fudging, leaning a little bit over trying to get there.
Yeah, I think he did a good job with that, Fred. And Beal went straight up in the air, and then Jordan realized he had him up there and took advantage of the body.
Well, this is interesting, Billy. Here's what they have to do the rest of the way.
Got Wake Forest at home, Clemson at home, and the rest on the road. And they end up in that March 6th game with Virginia, at Virginia, and what will be, Ralph Sampson's last game in Charlottesville. It's going to be something.
Michael Jordan gets them both.
And, of course, this will be North Carolina's first loss in the conference.
Oh, they've got Branch behind everybody, and Doherty fouls him.
2 shots.
Matt Doherty fouling him to prevent the easy two. He's going to put him on the line, make him earn them. And this comes with 2:15 left in the game.
And Maryland keeps attacking.
Branch just got behind everybody. Doherty had to run him down. That's his third foul.
You know, I have heard Lefty Driesell at halftime, and he can really get it going in that locker room. And I wonder if that foul at the end of the first half by Matt Doherty that prevented Maryland from getting anything off wasn't part of his halftime talk.
But it was, because he was really emotional when he left the court. So that was Doherty's 4th foul. I did not mark the one on him at the end of the first half. Adrian Branch, it's good.
Everybody running away from the out-of-bounds man. Up in there. And that was one of those 3-pointers I'm talking about that North Carolina more than likely would not take in a normal ball game.
93-77 Maryland. And Hunter fouls Atkins in midcourt.
We have had almost 5 possessions in the last 15 seconds.
Up to 2:03 left in the game.
That's 3 seconds per possession of their opponent. So you can see that they're either fouling or putting up the shot as quickly as possible.
Jeff Atkins. Good enough.
And drill. Jeff shooting 60% on the year. Expected to be a little higher, but I think the kind of guy that's really well under.
20 points for Atkins. 95-77.
North Carolina that ball though. Not taking time.
3 from Mike Jordan. And North Carolina getting him time out here. We'd like to apologize for some difficulties we've been experiencing. It's hard to out game to. Got it. 1-6 left in this basketball game. It's going to be a big win for Maryland.
And nobody stay up number 1 very long in the United States. It's just like, you know, you as a coach would want to be in that number 1 spot. Deanna's there. There's Michael Jordan leaning over. Listen to Dean Smith try to use as much time out so he can try to keep his club game. But I think this one's worth for quite some.
We'd like to take this opportunity to thank Carolina Athletic for John Swofford, basketball coach, Dean Smith, and his sports center director, Rick Bruce, and his for their help with the telecast. So also, Maryland Athletic Director, Rich Paul, head basketball coach, Lefty Driesell, his staff, sports information, Jack Sain, and staff. All there.
They honored the American football team at halftime, coach. And one fellow that there's a little question that's in the state. Jack Score, who was the great all-back and back at Maryland, but the college football fame, which is what led them national championship team. Quite a player team in Maryland.
Well, it isn't a. So you make those Hall of Fame or a Diamond Anniversary team, which the NCAA will name later.
Well, you know, another CC, Sonny Ferguson, named to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Sonny considered quite a basketball player, too, in his day. There's a quick foul. Not much time going off the...
Billy, 154 game. I've never seen that. The North Carolina today got a tour of the Justice Department, and then other than the Justice Blizzard White took the Carolina basketball team on the tour and pointed out that he also basketball at Colorado as well as football. Maryland's had some off the bench tonight. Maryland bench was outside Carolina's 9-3. Minute 54 left in this game. 95-80. Maryland beating North Carolina with Atkins line.
Maryland got an opportunity. They beat North Carolina that long past the half court. And they had to pull the defense up a little bit. to pick up one of those passes. North Carolina used a little bit of the clock, bringing the ball up.
Atkins gets them both.
Now let's see if they do this time. See, they're picking up, so they can't get the long pass. Smart play by Maryland.
X. Court. Michael Jordan works against. Pulls up.
One moment, please.
Been selected to shoot the technical fouls. You have Atkins, who'd been drilling them pretty well, but Holbert comes off the bench to shoot.
Jay Holbert, 82% free throw shooter.
But he hadn't been in the game at all. He's not loose at all.
He's ice cold.
And he hit it anyway.
That puts the lead back at 10 with 58 seconds to play.
Still a lot of time with the three-pointers unless Maryland's going to occupy the ball some.
Seconds left in this game. 10-point lead. And we apologize for continuing technical difficulties.
That's a smart play by Coleman. Holbert. That's That's all for Doherty.
Matt Doherty fouls out of the game.
But it stops the clock. This has been an eternity the last 2 minutes.
Matt Doherty sits down with a 20-point night. 51 seconds left in the game. And Holbert will go back to the line.
And these are critical free throws right here because, as we pointed out, 3-point plays can get you back in a hurry.
There's the situation. Now Brad Doherty returns to the North Carolina lineup. 51 seconds left, 98-88. Maryland on top of North Carolina. This has been a tremendous comeback. Matt Doherty finished with 21 points and 6 assists tonight.
Holbert gets shot by Holbert. And that's tough to come off that bench, not having played the entire game and shoot a technical. And now he gets a chance to not only hit the technicals, but he gets them up to the 100-point mark.
Crowd celebrating the 100. 188. Michael Jordan for 3. Nope.
Almost a foul by Coleman.
Brad Doherty didn't get it. Slaps it up. Sam Perkins goes up and takes it down.
North Carolina now out of timeout. They ought to pick up that ball and hand it to the man. Quick
Now they
foul.
foul Baxter. With 31 seconds left. Again, the 10-point lead for Maryland, 190.
And North Carolina has to use the fouls now to stop the clock because they don't have any more timeouts.
31 seconds left in the game.
Baxter going that line. I was pointing out about Holbert before having to come off the bench and shoot the technicals, and of course then he got into the ball game and had a chance to shoot the personal fouls the last time and drilled both of them, so he's 3 for 3 from the line.
We mentioned earlier that Maryland in 73-74 season in the ACC tournament beat North Carolina 105-85. It's the most they've scored since then. Jeff Baxter.
Those were the days that Maryland used to have their big battles with NC State.
Baxter now has 5, 101-90. 31 seconds left in this game. Boy, I'll say this. Dean Smith milked that clock for everything he conceivably could.
There's Veal again.
Celebrate, celebrate.
Poetic justice for Herman Veal. He has had some ball game.
6 for Herman Veal. And that does not even begin to tell the Herman Veal story in this one.
And here's Maryland doing a good job not allowing North Carolina to make that long pass. And here comes Herman Veal, not to be denied. He has set the tempo for this team tonight. Really deserves a tremendous amount of credit for this victory.
It is 104-90.
Maryland starting the amen cheer.
Exum. 23 seconds left. Braddock. Michael Jordan. Cecil Exum back up with it. 4 points for Cecil Exum. 14 seconds left. Long pass. There's Coleman. Fakes. Martin gets him. The shot doesn't drop. Stops the clock with 8 seconds left in the game.
That's all Martin could do. Foul and not let him have the easy layup. It's a big, big win for Maryland and puts them right back in that playoff picture. Gives North Carolina their first loss of the season in the conference.
Takes them to 4-4 in the conference. They'll be 15-6 overall. North Carolina will take their first loss in ACC play. They'll be 8-1, 21-5 on the year. Ben Coleman has had a night. 23 points.
And this last 2 minutes has taken about 15 minutes to play.
24 points now for Ben Coleman. 105-92. 106. It's a big number. Maryland's still on the board tonight. Braddock off balance, throws up the shot. It doesn't go. Perkins gets it. It's going to count. The game is over. And what a night for Maryland. 106-94, and Lefty very calmly walking off, giving Matt Doherty a pat on the back. Well, I think maybe all that time it took to finish the game took all the emotion out of Lefty here. It's the most points Maryland ever scored against North Carolina.